Falcon fan? It's your boy Ricondo. Come back at you with another video. So today we're going to talk about some of the latest rumors that we have heard in the last couple of days. Before we get into that, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like to hear what I talk about. And then please hit the share button so my video can go throughout the YouTube universe, so other people can come and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So let's get on to the rumor. So it was a rumor out on Twitter, and honestly, by now I think most of us should stop looking on Twitter for news and just wait till it hit the notification that somebody actually is official news, because based off what happened to us like in the last 48 hours, and we thought it was for certain that Deshaun Watson was coming to the team, and then at the last minute, of course, he made another decision. And I think, just the rumors on Twitter kind of get people thinking a certain way, kind of get people heads are spinning and what's going to be next for the Falcons. But until it be official, we probably need to make sure that we don't listen to those rumors unless it come from, like I said, one of the more reliable sources out there, like an Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport, somebody like that. All right, so the rumor that's out there today is that Matt Ryan won an extension. He wants some guarantees that he's actually going to be here for probably for the rest of his career. And I would say that could be true. Remember the last video I talked about, they probably should get him an extension, because at the end of the day, they pretty much let him know that they was trying to move in another direction. They were trying to be younger. They was trying to look for his succession plan, and it fell through. So I also talked about they had to know that. They had to know that could be a case that when other teams are going after somebody you trying to go after, that you might not get him. So they had to understand that, and had to know that some of the ramifications of if you don't get him, what's going to happen. All right, especially with your franchise quarterback who's been here for 14 years, who only missed 3 games this season, being the best quarterback in your franchise history, and then he feels slighted, right? Well, I can't say this. Really, if you think about it, they never really let him know that he was going to be the future, because they only thing they had was a restructure in place. So he only still had that this year and next year left on his contract. So they already had that in mind, that they probably was moving for him anyway. He kind of had to know that. But now that the fact that they was willing to go ahead and get rid of him now, maybe he's thinking differently. He wanted to finish his career somewhere else where he probably can have a chance to win a Super Bowl. So we don't know. Like I said, it is a rumor, but it could be feasible that is what he's asking. Maybe his agent did go to the Falcons and tell them that they want some insurance that in the future they're not going to be trying to move him again, that we should just go ahead and trade him, get assets away, and then start looking for his succession that way. All right, so it could be the case. Honestly, in my opinion, if they decide to do that, I think that it could work. If they decide to do that, I would try to at least get, since there's some teams out there that actually need a quarterback. Indianapolis Colts needs a quarterback. Indianapolis do not have a first this year, though, so they will have to probably get a first next year for Indianapolis. Seattle Seahawks were another one of the teams that was interested in trying to get his services. Then another team that popped up was the Philadelphia Eagles with Jalen Hurts. So maybe he would want to go back home. So like I said, guys, these are all rumors that's out there. And if the Falcons would decide to do that, let's just say Philadelphia, we could bring Jalen Hurts in. He's a younger guy. I don't know if they would be sold on Jalen Hurts, but that could be a direction they go. Then they can actually take some of those picks from Philadelphia and maybe draft another quarterback in this year's draft. All right. So personally, for me, like I said, I am a season ticket holder, and I don't want to see a losing team on the field. I know it's about time. We got to figure out something. And I remember, if you guys remember on the video that I had a couple of days ago, I said we can't be straddling the fence. These guys got to decide what they're going to do. So if they was to give in, and a lot of people saying that if they giving in to Matt Ryan, give him an extension, they kind of don't know what the hell they doing, right? Because they was thinking about that he wasn't the future. Now you're trying to say that if we give him an extension, we gave in because we didn't want him to leave, and then they could. I could understand where people thinking in that in that logic, saying that Matt Ryan kind of bullied his way into getting an extension, even though they didn't want him to, right? So I could understand that, but the reality is that he's the best quarterback option they have right now. I mean, it's simple as that. He's the best quarterback option they have. Yes, they tried to go get Deshaun Watson, and I still understand why they did that. If you don't understand that from a football standpoint, you let your mind be clouded and judged by the other thing, which I completely understand that as well. But from a football standpoint, you have to understand why they went and got Deshaun Watson. All right, he's younger. He's a proven commodity quarterback. He showed you what he can do. He's would have been here for a long time, and that is the succession plan that you want to have. They was going to let Matt Ryan go off on his way to a good, freaking team where he was going to actually be put in position to actually win. So I think it was been a win-win for both, except for all the of course, the issues that having Deshaun Watson on a team would have brought for the franchise, and all the PR and all that stuff. So other than that, from a football standpoint, it would have been a win-win for both teams, right? But it didn't work. So like I said, these guys, they had to think it wasn't gonna work. I think maybe they were just thinking, okay, if it didn't work, we'll just go ahead and with the restructure. We'll keep Matt Ryan for this year, maybe next year, find his succession that way, and go with the original plan. Well, like he said, Matt Ryan, now his feelings hurt, not to the extent where Baker Mayfield was talking about he was planning on not coming to camp and all that stuff. So they probably went on to pull the trigger to say, if Baker Mayfield's not going to be our quarterback, we need to go get Deshaun Watson. So that's probably why they came back to the table and paid Deshaun Watson so much money to get him, right? Because they realized Baker, his feeling was hurt, and it was no way to repair that relationship between Baker and the franchise. So that's probably why they did what they did. But at the end of the day, like I said, Matt Ryan is the best quarterback right now for this team, right? It's no other quarterback out there. It's no other quarterback in free agency. It's no other quarterback in the draft that's better than Matt Ryan. So the original plan that we all had, I think most of the fan base had going into this year, was we all knew that Matt Ryan was going to be the quarterback in 2022. He was going to be our quarterback. We was going to build a good team around him. We was going to build in the draft, get some good solid free agents, and then maybe this year or next year go get his succession quarterback. That was the plan, the original plan. I had to think that was the original plan. And then the curveball came in with Deshaun Watson, and he probably threw everything out of whack. So I'm really I bet they really wishing that they can just go back to their original plan now, since the Deshaun Watson whole 4 or 5 day nightmare that we had with this whole thing, where it didn't work out. Wish they can just go back. So let's go back to when we thought that, this was our plan coming into the off season, and if they can just go back to that. Of course, Matt Ryan will have to agree to that. He's just going to do his restructure, play this year, next year, and then move on that way. I guess we will find out more tomorrow, because his $7.5 million bonus kicks in. I think it's by 4 o'clock tomorrow. So by that time, these guys are going to have to make a decision. Are they going to trade Matt Ryan? If the rumor's true, or he going to give him that extension that he want, or they can just meet somewhere in between. Like I said, go back to the original plan. So, guys, for me, if they was to extend him, if we go back. I thought they was going to stand him in the first place, but I said they could be a place where they didn't even touch his contract at all because they just eat the $48 million. What they decided to do was they decided to restructure it. We thought that restructure already in. Come to find out, they hadn't put it in yet. So, so either they go back to the original plan, put the restructure in, play this year, next year, get some of that salary cap relief from this year, which will bring it from 48 million to 36 million. And then next year go in, have even a bigger cap hit, but I think it will be less since this is last year's contract. It'll be easier to come off him if they want to next year. Of course, Matt Ryan will have to agree to that now. I do think that Matt Ryan is the constant professional, and I think that he's never gonna show any frustration. If you can see, if you looked on Twitter, you haven't heard anything from him, himself, his wife, anybody posting anything. So we really don't know what he's thinking right now. Of course, we'll have to hear about that later on, whatever the outcome is. But we haven't even heard from the Falcon organization as well. So like I said, these are rumors. But at some point, I think tomorrow these guys are going to have to make a decision on what they're going to do with our quarterback decision. And then we can actually figure out what direction this team need to go in. Like I said, I'm not on the boat of tanking or losing games. I don't think that any franchise should be trying to do that. But I can tell you this, if Matt Ryan leaves, what quarterback they're going to bring in, I have no idea. And we can just be prepared to just have one of the bad seasons. I feel like we're going back to 2007 again, man. That's all I'm thinking about. We're going back to that dark time when Michael Vick went to prison. We had Bob Petrino come in. We had all these no-name quarterbacks that played for us. And we sucked for about a year and a half until we drafted Matt Ryan. So, and we've been in this position. Yes, it's been up and down since Matt Ryan been here. He don't have 7 winning seasons out of his 14 years. 2 of those seasons went to the NFC Championship game, went to the Super Bowl one of those years. So up and down. And all of it is not his fault to what the season was. We all know that if you've been watching this team for all those years. But we just will have to see what these guys going to do. At this point, I can't say either way what they should do. I honestly, I know they wish they can just go back before the whole Deshaun Watson thing and just execute that plan and move from there. He'd be on contract this year and next year, and then we'll see what happens. Now they got another 2 options to put into place. They're either going to trade him or they're going to give him an extension. So now that's all on the table. We just have to see between Matt Ryan team and him and his family and the Falcon organization what they decide to do. And hopefully we get a word, some kind of word on tomorrow about that. But guys, I'm interested to see what you're thinking. I've been looking on Twitter. Some people say we should just blow it up. Just blow up the whole thing and just start over. And then what? Guys, I just want y'all to think about it like this. Miami been looking for a franchise quarterback since Dan Marino left. The Jets been looking at when the Jets have had a franchise quarterback? Joe Namath? The Cleveland Browns. It's not easy to find a franchise quarterback. It's not easy. So before we guys want to say just rip off the Band-Aid and start over, these guys need to have a solid plan and what they're going to start. It's going to come a time. I get it. It's going to come a time where we're going to have to go ahead and get rid of our quarterback. But hopefully it's not now, because right now these guys have no idea who's the next guy. I don't know if he's out there right now, if he's even on anybody's radar right now. Right? People talking about Malik Willis. Malik Willis, he could be, but he's not ready. He's not ready right now. So, and then you put him in with a bad team. I don't know if he's going to get ready. All right. Some of these veteran quarterbacks out there, Marcus Mariota, he had his chance. He already been with Arthur Smith. He got benched with Ryan Tannehill. Like Jameis Winston's going back to New Orleans. We don't want Baker Mayfield. That's why Cleveland got rid of Baker Mayfield. So I don't know what quarterbacks out there that we can say is going to be better than Matt Ryan right now. So I would want to keep him, and he's on a contract for 2 more years. If we somehow try to sweep, work it out, talk him back in, be like, look, we got you for 2 more years. Let's see what we can do. And then move from there instead of giving him that extension. But maybe he say no, either give me the extension or trade me. And we just have to see what happens. And hopefully we find out some word by tomorrow. So, guys, I really want to know what you think about this. Let me know what you think. Should we trade him? Should we keep him? Or should we get him extension? And that's all I got. This your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.